Andrea Sanders is here from the Calico Rock Museum and Visitor Center down there
in Calico Rock.
In the heart of Calico Rock. Welcome back to the show. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for driving the distance up here to talk about.
It's not that far.
This is a cool thing. Native American
We
Heritage
at one
Weekend.
time or another we used to do a Montman Rendezvous and the Native American Days, but we have gone strictly to the Native American Days. We have a wonderful group of the Oklahoma Fancy Dancers that come to us, and they are amazing. So they dance 2 shows on Saturday.
Are
Friday,
they Native Americans?
They are.
Okay.
And what those are, to be one of them, they have to be a powwow champion.
Okay.
Wow.
And so it's a family. I just talked to Cricket as I was coming in today, and I said, I'm on my way. And she said, well, good luck. I said, how big have the kids grown? Because I'm watching them every year. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, you know. But they start off real young, and they have to be a powwow champion to be part of this group. So it's amazing. It's a family. They come. We put them up in a cabin. Last year was the first year we had the Oklahoma dancers. We'd had others, but these are the top of the group.
Okay.
And so we're really, really pleased that they were willing to come to Calico because, you know, it's not a big town.
Sure.
And so they were willing to come. They worked with us as far as funding and everything else, and it's been really a great thing. But last year her husband did an eagle dance, and where he has the feathers on his arm, and he does the flight with the sound, and I cried. It was just so beautiful. It's just beautiful. And he also is a champion hoop dancer, so which means he takes that hoop and he has 3 or 4, and they're going every which way.
Yeah.
So they're really fabulous.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we have 2 shows for them. That'll be 1 and 3. We also have events going on throughout the thing. We'll have a weaving loom. We'll have a textile demo where they're going to show spinning wheels and actually doing that. We have a lady who actually works with stones and tells you the different stones and what the meanings behind them, what the medicinal purposes they use with them, and all of that. We have 2 Native American local artists, and they are doing a show, just a few of their paintings. But Mike Diaz has been with us for a couple of years. And I can't remember what tribe he's in. Last year we had 8 tribes represented, which to me was just fabulous.
Wow.
So, and this year I'm not sure. We won't know till everybody shows up. But we know that we have the Quapaw. We know we have the Shawnee, Cherokee, Comanche, and Caddo. So that we know for sure that we have 5 coming this year, so we don't know how many.
What's the history of Calico Rock and the Native Americans?
Well, the Native part of it is part of the Trail of Tears.
Right.
So that if you remember going to Calico Rock, which I still don't think you've come in to see the museum, so I'm not.
I have not.
I know.
I have not. Yeah. I have not.
When you cross over the river there going into Stone County, all along the other side of the bridge, that was a huge encampment. So, of course, the Cherokee were part of the Trail of Tears, and so was the Shawnee and the Cherokee both. We have a gentleman whose name was John Binge, who led the Trail of Tears from Calico. And the interesting thing, the way it worked is, well, number one, they knew that the government was coming to move them. So they decided to move on their own, so they could, without having the forced move. So they actually left Calico and went up Highway 77 up that way, which is the one that goes now over the dam. It wasn't probably Highway 77 there, but that 177. And when they got to Iuka, there's a road called Iuka Road, and when they got to Iuka, on the right-hand side of the road, there was a huge encampment of over 500 of them.
Wow.
And of that, about 200 of them died, but that was not from battle, it was from illness.
Right.
You know, so the story goes, that's why we have Moccasin Creek down there. The story goes, they buried as deep as they could because of the cold, okay? But as the spring came up and the graves became apparent, if you went down to the creek, they were floating with moccasins. So that's why it's called Moccasin Creek.
Now the final destination was up.
The final destination
Dakotas,
it was actually to Oklahoma and Missouri.
Okay.
Well, what they did at that point, there was they divided into 3 groups.
Okay.
Some that went on to Missouri, some that went to Oklahoma, and some that decided they wanted to stay. But for them to stay, that meant they had to bleed into the community. because if you remember anything about it, it's like until 1957, a Native American could not own any land. It's their land to start with, right?
Right,
Right.
right.
But until 1957, so they had to keep, because they wanted everybody on reservations. They didn't want people. So they have, so they kind of bled into the community, stayed where they
Yeah.
are. And now what's really interesting is they're coming out more and more. Every year that we've done this, it's coming out a little bit more. We have a gentleman, Chief Dark Cloud, who is coming to us from Yellville. He wants to tell his story. We had Chief White Eagle. I think he's passed away now, but we have his headdress and all of this.
Wow.
So it's really been fun. It's a great event. We love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
We also start our event with our Friday evening bonfire and storytelling. So it's a fun thing. I'm used to dogs, and he's been sitting in my wrap.
So,
But it's really, we also have
Yeah.
a chuck wagon. That's not Native American, but usually they met up in rendezvous.
Sure, yeah.
And so we have some really good friends of mine that they have a great chuck wagon and they want to come, and so they always come, and it's so much fun.
Now, how many day event is it?
It's just a one-day event.
Just a one-day event, okay.
On Friday, if you have nothing to do, I could use a little bit of help. I have about 144 school students coming
Oh, goodness.
at 9 o'clock. Friday is
So
school
this
days.
starts
Friday.
Friday.
That
Okay.
starts it. So it's 6 o'clock on 6 o'clock on Friday night with a bonfire. We're open. We're ready. We have Native American, local Native American that are trying to keep the tribal things together, and they are camping in the park, and they are going to be doing things there. We have a teepee that we're trying to get up, but in this area, teepees were not used.
right.
They were wiki huts that were used with the
Okay,
cane and
yeah,
everything else.
yeah.
But I haven't had time to build one of those.
Well, maybe you can get some of the people whose ancestors actually came through to.
We've done that, yeah. It's been fun. It's been fun. Don't look inside the teepee. I had to go with metal poles, okay?
So what is the date? What's
The date is September the 14th.
September the 14th?
It'll be what is it, the 14th and the 13th at night. That Friday night will be the 13th. Yeah, Friday the 13th. But
Okay.
It's going to be a full moon, a harvest moon,
don't
so that would be.
know, but
It is.
is it?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
see?
that'd be
Oh, yeah.
perfect.
It'll be full
It's
this
going to be
weekend.
fun. The last couple of years we've had rain. This
Mm-hmm.
is our 9th year of doing this, so we're real excited
I
about
think
it.
the weather's going to be clear.
And
hope
is it
so.
just all a free, open event?
Everything is
then?
free. We don't charge for anything. As anything within the museum, we don't charge for, which is kind of a neat thing. We are a nonprofit, and we try to keep it. One of the reasons that we do that is because we're in a depressed area, Calico, as you know that, and so we want to make sure that everybody can come in.
Yeah, right.
So we don't charge to come into the museum. We don't charge for most of our any of our events,
good.
as a matter of fact.
You still do the ghost tours?
This year we're going to try something different. We're going to do an
Okay.
escape room.
Oh, goodness.
Oh.
I've heard of those.
I have two high school kids, and they said, "Can we do one?" And I went, "How
Whatever you
about
wanna
it?
do."
Whatever you want to do."
How fun.
The
That's all
Ghost
the
Town
rage
tour,
now.
we had to stop, unfortunately. That was
Okay.
a really good thing. But we still have the
Yeah.
Ghost Town there, and people can
Yeah.
actually do a walking tour to that.
Do it
To
on
add
their
to the big thing of today is, as of 2 days ago, we purchased 2 more buildings.
Wow.
Okay. So, you're
So we're
expanding,
going
huh?
to expand even more.
Wow, that's great.
So I don't know if we're crazy or whether we're, I
Well,
know.
it's important to
I
keep
think
the
it's
word
working.
going.
It's all about the people involved and how
It really-
enthusiastic and energetic they are. So, yeah.
So it's been fun. After 10 years, I'm still here working on it, so it's great.
Have fun.
Well, we encourage people to go down this weekend.
Yes, and if
This
anybody
Friday.
needs information, call us up
Yep.
at 297-6100.
All right. Thanks, Gloria.
Good luck
Thanks.
with your
Come-
event.
come back,
Have
would
fun.
you?
I'm going to, because I've got other things. We've got
Okay.
something coming up, and I definitely will do
We
this.
definitely want to know all about it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Up next, we have Angela Lockman. She's here to talk about the Bridge Bash. We'll find out all about that in just a few minutes. Stay with us.